The University of Maryland University College is world class. Today, on any given day, it serves 40,000 students domestically, 32,000 of those students right here in our neighbor in Maryland. And it serves just about 6 times or 7 times that internationally. They have an international footprint, and what makes them a competitor for everybody out there is that they're not ashamed to say their roots are based in getting their students good jobs, pathways to sustainable careers. It is such a privilege for me to tell you that their amazing president is going to be the person who accepts that award. Their president came to the college in 2001, I believe, and he'll correct me, and his job then was institutional effectiveness. I don't know about you. I think he's done that job every day since he got there. He became president much to his chagrin. He was acting president thinking he wasn't going to be the final candidate. But luckily the board and the people and the powers that be saw that he is the natural person to lead the University of Maryland University College into the future. My dear friend has a wonderful personal, he's not a dear friend yet, but he's sitting next to me, and as those of you that know me, 10 minutes sitting next to me, you're a dear friend. Sorry. Javier has a wonderful personal story, a hard personal story. He left Cuba during the Bay of Pigs and went to Venezuela, and thank God, lucky for us, ended up in Baltimore. We are so fortunate to have him a part of our country now. But he took that experience, the incredible personal strength, the resilience, and brought that not only into his professional life, but into his college.
The global education mission of the World Affairs Council, DC, is truly a noble one, and I am humbled to accept this award on behalf of the faculty, students, staff, alumni, boards, and partners of University of Maryland University College. The great English thinker John Locke, who penned one of the most influential books in the history of learning, Some Thoughts Concerning Education, argued in favor of the concept of tabula rasa, the mind as a blank slate. Students were to be molded, filled with the superior knowledge and ideals of learned faculty. And for more than 300 years, this has been the typical perspective in higher education. While I am not sure how well this perspective has served us, I am sure that that perspective is not valid in today's world. Indeed, the world of higher education is being driven to change. Costs are up, funding is down, demographics are shifting, and global demand for access to higher education is growing. And the reality is that the traditional model of higher education is not scalable to meet the demands at an acceptable cost. Thus, it is no surprise that in the US, the so-called traditional college experience is not traditional anymore. In fact, students just out of high school who attend college full-time are now the minority in our country. Globally, the whole of higher education is being disrupted. But my perspective on disruption may differ from that of others. When I fled Cuba on the 4th of July in 1961, after Bay of Pigs, at the age of 14, I had no money and I had no connections. But what I did have was a desire to learn, instilled in me by my parents, who were both teachers, and I had a willingness to change and adapt. Little could I have imagined that coming to this land of freedom and opportunity would eventually lead me here tonight, speaking on behalf of University of Maryland University College, America's largest public online university, where 74% of our students have full-time jobs, 48% have families, and 37% are first-generation college students. And here I am, a beneficiary of disruption and change, leading this university which was built on a foundation of change. When American classrooms were stretched to capacity by the greatest generation returning to civilian life after World War II, the University of Maryland stepped forward to accommodate these so-called non-traditional students. They were older, more experienced, with jobs and families, and a burning desire to get an education so they could improve their lives. My predecessors established an adult education program that took the learning experience off campus and into the community. That program grew to be today's UMUC with some 90,000 students worldwide. In 1949, the US Department of Defense called for a university to set up classrooms for US military personnel stationed in Europe. Again, University of Maryland answered the call. Today, more than half of our students are active duty military. Their family members, reservists, or veterans. In all of this, change has been the watchword and the common currency. This is why, to someone whose life has benefited from disruption, the future of higher education has never looked both darker and brighter, because these changes that bring disruption have the potential, if embraced, to open pathways to success for a greater number of students. And as I have learned, disruption and change, if embraced, can open doors to opportunity. 3 recent developments driven by technology have converged to create the potential to design learning experiences that are far superior to traditional models. Online technologies, big data, and learning science have combined to turn evolution into revolution in higher education, bringing a new level of quality and access within reach of anyone in the world who is ready to match determination with ambition. The classroom is now untethered by time and space. In the mid-1990s, UMUC was among the first institutions in the world to see the potential of the internet to make education more accessible and to bring students together from many different cultures in the virtual classroom. That is truly global education. And today at UMUC, we have some 250,000 online course enrollments each year, more than any other public institution. Meanwhile, the power of big data is being applied to higher education. Give you an example. On the first day of an online class at UMUC, very first day, data analytics tell us with better than 85% accuracy whether any given student will pass or fail, and we can intervene to help at-risk students stay on track. Adaptive learning, utilizing intelligent software that interacts with the student and facilitates learning, carries the promise of individualized yet scalable education. UMUC has designed pilot courses that include adaptive learning with promising results. Additionally, we have adopted open source online learning resources in place of traditional textbooks. They are high quality, embedded digital materials created by faculty and other subject matter experts that replace textbooks, resulting in significant cost savings for our students. We are also introducing competence-based education, allowing students to achieve prescribed work-related competencies at their own pace. At UMUC, our adult students come to us not as blank slates, not as logs tabula rasa, but as collections of previous formal instruction, military training, and professional and life experiences. And we at UMUC recognize and honor the learning acquired through these different channels. This presents new challenges and new opportunities for our faculty. Today, our faculty are adding to their portfolios the roles of guide and mentor, helping point the way to accurate information, content mastery, and the practical application of theory. Some people still measure the online experience against the memories of studying in red brick, ivy-covered buildings, and they may view technology as a distraction. At UMUC, our standard of measure is different. We measure ourselves by the learning of our students. And we believe that technology is a gateway to a learning experience that for many reasons could not happen in a traditional 20th century brick and mortar classroom with a teacher imparting his or her knowledge to the students. This is vital to our nation and to the world. Under the current traditional model, there are not enough resources to accommodate globally all who seek to be educated and all who deserve to be educated. President Obama has called for reforms in higher education in our country. Lower costs, greater accountability, and higher degree attainment rates. We are proud to say that at UMUC, the President's message is our mission. Today, thanks in large part to technology, the holy grail of higher education, the nexus of access, affordability, and quality, is finally and fully within range. And change will come, because at the very heart and soul of higher education are individuals like you, those who firmly believe in the education's power to transform lives, to revitalize economies, to advance learning opportunities far beyond the halls of power and privilege, so we can build a stronger, wiser, better global society. Idealism and realism will converge as the role of technology in education is recognized not just as a threat to the status quo, but as a powerful tool as well. As the economist John Maynard Keynes noted, the difficulty lies not in the new ideas, but in escaping from the old ideas. As we embrace and harness the power of learning, science, and technology, we will see the university of the future emerge as a gateway to broader opportunity and brighter horizons for all. Again, on behalf of the global community of University of Maryland University College, I thank you so much for your belief in education and for this special honor. Thank you.